All right, this next activity number 3 on your handout, has to do with the placement of objects within your composition and how they can make it look like it's moving back into space, or how it can make it look like it shows depth. On your handout, it asks you to draw 3 circles that are all the same size in the background, 2 circles that are the same size as those first 3 in the middle ground, and then 1 circle in the foreground. So again, all of these circles are the same size. And it's an activity to kind of get the feel for the placement in regards to the foreground, middle ground, and background, but it's also an activity for you to start to understand that if you change the size of objects in your composition, you can make it look as if the objects are moving back into space. So once you're done with your drawing, you should notice that most of your objects or your circles, they don't look like they're moving back into space as much as they should. And the reason is because they're all the same size. All right, so now the next activity number 4, has to do with size and change. So we're actually now going to change the size of the objects. We're going to use 6 circles again, and the largest circles are going to be in the foreground. So the 2 largest circles, the biggest one's closest to me, and as I move back, right, the circles will get smaller. So I started with the first one, and I numbered these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number 1 being the biggest one, 2 being the next biggest. And as I move back 3, I'm moving back into the middle ground now. So I have my 2 largest, 1 and 2 circles in the foreground. 3 and 4 circles are going to be in the middle ground. And the last 2, 5 and 6, are going to be in the background. And I'm trying my best to make sure that I create 6 circles that are getting progressively smaller. And this is to, again, create the illusion of depth. All right, let's check out this last activity, and it has to do with value and focus, and it also should look familiar with overlapping. So we're going to take this time we're only going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles, right? And we are going to overlap these circles. As they go back into space, they get smaller, and then also the value changes, right? So you'll notice that the circle that's in front in your photo reference is much darker than the last circle. By demonstration here, as I'm laying these out, I'm just trying to recreate the circles as best I can inside the box, right? I just kind of drew them as if they were clear or transparent to kind of get the layout correct, and then I went back and I erased any unwanted lines. And then I'm going to start to shade in, right? I'm going to use the artist grip, and I'm going to start with the first circle, and that value is the darkest. And the reason why it's the darkest is because it's the closest to us. It's the object that's in the foreground. So we'll spend some time practicing and making sure that our values are always darkest in the foreground, and as they move back into space, they get lighter. This is a great technique to use to make your drawings have the illusion of space or show depth. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to speed up this drawing, and you can see how I finish this up.